Welcome, everybody, to Casting for Two, the podcast with your host, Chris. I happen to be that guy. I am the host slash producer slash everything. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 146. Yeah, 146. Pretty cool. Never thought I'd be that high of a number, but I am, so I'm very grateful. Some shop talk, as always. If you'd like to keep in contact with me, you can do that through my Twitter, Instagram, or email. Twitter and Instagram is both at castingfor2, and my email is castingfor2@gmail.com. Or just come onto the website, and just look at it and chat with me there. And if you'd like to leave a comment, go right ahead. I'm iTunes, Google, Stitcher, whatever. Just leave me a comment. And then also, if you want to contribute to my GoFundMe campaign to get my short film made, the link is in the description. And yeah, so there we go. I guess I should get into my guest for today. How does that sound? My guest is Ben Cline, and he's the lead singer from the band We the Wild. And you have to say it like that, like a radio producer. We the Wild. Even though they're not like that. It's great because the different band that I've had on the show, they're a bit more vocal, I should say. He uses his vocals a lot and very loudly. So I was very excited to chat with Ben. Their new CD, From the Cities We Fled, comes out August 12th. So yeah, and I want you to go out and get it and listen to it and listen to this episode. So Chris, cue the music, please, and thank you. Hello.
Hey, how's it going, Chris?
Hey, not much. And yourself?
Oh, I'm doing good.
There we go. So you just kind of, what have you been up to today, first off?
Kind of nursing a hangover.
There we go.
Yeah, I was out with this girl that I've been seeing, and her company was throwing a work party at this fucking barcade.
Oh, okay.
Like all pinball machines and like retro games like Galaga and shit like that. It was fun, but it was like free drinks the entire night, so I just did.
Right on, right. And you're obviously you're in Portland, right?
Yeah.
What's this place called?
Called Quarter World.
Okay, because I'm from Salem, and I know they opened up a place like that. I forgot. Oh, the Coin Jam. That's what it's called.
Oh, okay. In Eugene or in Salem.
Yeah. It's a couple years now, but yeah, I know that these alcohol-based arcades are kind of taking off right now.
Yeah, they're wicked popular. I think I went to the stereotypical one that everyone goes to, Ground Control.
Okay.
And that place is pretty cool, but it's like really high volume and it's like super bright. This place, Quarter World, is kind of more like how I would envision something that my dad would have went to. It's a little more gymnasium feeling. Mm-hmm. It's like super echoey, like all the sounds bounce off the walls. It's deafening, but it's kind of fun.
Right on. I'm not nursing a hangover, but it kind of feels like I am. Last week when we were supposed to chat, I got vertigo.
Oh, gnarly.
Yeah, and so I've been trying to, and it's funny because I had to go to the ER the next day, and the doctor, yeah, it was pretty bad. I feel like I can be a little bit more graphic. So, in one day, broke my personal puke record at 7
Oh, in a day?
in a day. Yeah, and we're talking about in within 6 hours.
Ah, that's gross.
It's so gross,
I think
and
the most I've made is probably 4 or 5.
yeah, I think 4 was where my record was before last week. Um, but so the doctor told me, because it felt like I was constantly in a roller coaster. I couldn't walk straight. I couldn't see straight. My eyes were going back and forth. It was so crazy. And the doctor said that, oh yeah, it's just vertigo.
It's just
Yeah, it's just vertigo. But the thing is that it can happen to anyone at any point in time. Nothing causes it. It just happens.
Oh, I was just gonna ask that. That's nuts. Now I've got one more thing to be paranoid about, man.
It's yeah. It's like, I have a headache. Oh no, I just got vertigo. It just happen. It's so weird. So
Well, I'm much better.
yeah, no, I'm getting there. I'm able to see straight, which is good. I'm on these gnarly meds that just like knock me out, and but I'm still trying to figure out the balancing when I walk. It's still a little off, but I'm getting there. It's all good.
Well, good to hear, man.
Yeah. So I don't I don't really have an agenda when I do interviews, but
Okay.
when I was listening to the album, I was I always like to know when musicians realize that, hey, this is something I can do, or like, when did you get the musical bug?
Um, well, first off, thank you for checking the album out. That bio you wrote is fucking amazing. Um, it is really, really cool that you have checked it out so hard. We haven't really shown anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think I was probably, man, I don't know, I was 13 or 14. My family had just gotten, uh, like, not cable, it was DirecTV, I think, but I had
Mm-hmm.
VH1.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I remember I grew up really religious, and all I really knew was like country western choir music, some select like Christian pop musicians. It's kind of a funny culture.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I saw like an Alexis on Fire video, and then an Under Oath video, and I think Escape the Fate. Regrettably, they had a big hit out at that time, but it got my attention, and it was kind of like in there. Once I heard that, it was like, this is exactly what I've been missing out on. And then after that, I was trying to start bands with like middle school and high school friends. None very successful. Pretty terrible, actually.
Right, right. What do you remember any of your unsuccessful band names?
Uh, yes. Um, there was one called Delta Wolf Squadron,
Oh my gosh.
and it was pretty much like a Chariot Norma Jean ripoff.
Uh-huh.
But we wouldn't practice. We would just get shows booked in our tiny little redneck town. Um, and then we'd show up and write a song on the spot, like on stage, and I would just scream like nursery rhymes over it.
Yeah.
It was kind of fun for the first like 3.5 minutes, and then you could just see it in people's faces that it was like, okay, this is something that needs to end immediately.
Uh-huh.
Um, what was another one? Oh, Waiting Stereo.
Okay, that's
Like
I mean, Delta Wolf Squadron is like high up there. That's an awesome name.
Oh, thanks. That was I didn't even come up with that. That was I think the other vocalist. We had like 3 or 4 different rotating people
Gotcha.
that screamed. Um, that was like or Awaiting Stereo was like a pop punk band kind of. We played a bunch of covers at a high school bonfire and kind of ruined it, I think. I screamed at one point. It was bad. It's terrible, not in good taste. And Said the Liar.
Said the okay,
I
okay.
think those were the 3 that I had.
The three main ones, right on. And are you from Oregon or are you from somewhere else?
Hell no, I really wish. I guess I'm part of the problem that native Oregonians can't stand all these people moving here.
I hear that. Yeah, I was one of those. I hear you.
It's I don't know. This place feels more like home.
Yeah.
Initially, I'm from Northern California in this town called Portola.
Hmm.
It's like it's a couple hours from Sacramento. But I then moved to Reno, Nevada when I was probably 10 or 11. Um, and I just tell people that I'm from Nevada. It's a lot easier to explain.
Right, right. No, I hear that. When people ask me where am I from, I just say Oregon because it's easier to explain.
I'm telling strangers that, like when I know I'm probably never going to see someone again, I just to get it over with. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, I was born in, like Eugene area, or I tell people Tigard or Newburgh sometimes.
yeah, yeah. There you go. No, because I was born in El Paso, Texas,
Oh, okay.
and then I moved to Oregon, or around the same time or same age you moved to
Mhm.
Reno. But I identify with Oregon so much that it's I felt comfortable there. It feels like home to me.
Yeah,
So when I moved back to Texas, it's like I don't want to tell people I'm from Texas.
I hate telling people I'm from Reno. If people are always like, "Oh, really?" Like, how was that? And I always have to be like, "Exactly what the fuck does it sound like, dude?" Like,
Right,
you're
right.
the one asking me what it was like living in Reno.
Yeah. Well, and my friend when I moved up there, he moved up to Oregon at the same time. He's from Reno as well, but
Oh, nice. Okay.
yeah, I mean, I didn't think anything bad of it. I don't know why people like, oh my gosh, I guess Reno 911 wasn't out at that point. I don't know. I don't know. So,
I think I mean, I get a lot of shit for this, but I'm a firm believer that some of the shit they come up with on that show has to be rooted in actual calls somewhere.
right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Reno's goofy, man. I didn't mind growing up there. I probably would never move back, but it's blowing up right now. Like Amazon's moving there and Tesla.
Oh,
Like
wow.
the town's pretty cool.
I
But
Yeah, I remember when I was in school, my band director was from Reno, so
mhm.
he got us playing at some rinky-dink high school or whatever.
Do
Just
you
for
remember what it's called?
Yeah, I don't remember honestly. I know it was for marching band.
Oh,
I
cool.
guess it was a competition. But at the end of everything, we ended up going to a casino. And
Yes.
while the adults were playing and us kids were like, well, we're all under 18, so what kind of fun can we have? But it was actually really funny because my friend almost hooked up with his 25-year-old. Like we were trying to
Holy
put
shit, in the casino.
yeah, yeah, she was having a party. I'm sure she was on crystal meth, but
Oh yeah, that sounds about right.
it was I don't know why we were pushing for this to happen, but we were just like, "Oh yeah, yeah, we'll be
Because
there."
it's Reno. This is what's supposed to happen. That's exactly you. Yeah, do it.
Do it, dude, do it. We were, it was all he didn't want to. I mean, I'm sure part of him did, but he was a
Oh
shy
yeah.
guy.
Part of you
Uh,
always wants to see. You always wonder.
yeah, yeah. So, and of course it never happened because this was a
Right.
band trip and we couldn't sneak out. But I bet to this day he wonders what could have been.
Yeah, you always have to wonder. It makes you like, I don't know, some things are better left not change. Yeah, like this sounds like you probably made the right decision in the long run, but
Yeah.
I would too. That wouldn't haunt me, but I'd definitely be thinking about it like in deep thought. That would just come to fruition in my mind. Be like, oh yeah, oh shit, I wonder. Old man thoughts.
There you go. So when does we the wild form?
Um, you mean like when did or when do we get together?
When do you meet all the guys and decide, you know what? All of us we're clicking right now.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Um, well, for me, it's I only know like specific details, but they've been around for like 3 years. I guess
Mhm.
closer to four now, probably in the summer.
Mhm.
Um, and I guess that the drummer Joe
Mhm.
and the bass player Julian, they've been playing music together for a while. They grew up in the same town. Um, but they moved here not together, but they ended up here at the same point. Miles came from Colorado, and I think that's primarily how it formed.
Mhm.
And then there was a couple other members too. I joined the band New Year's of last year.
Okay. Okay. So you still pretty fresh then.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it feels like it's been an eternity already.
There you go. And so, how did you meet the guys then? Were they just looking for somebody and somebody recommended you, or?
Yeah, it pretty much exactly like that. I don't know if they ever um like posted in social media about wanting a front man. I think they just mentioned it to some close friends.
Hmm.
Um, because this other guy named Joe who plays bass in a Portland band Divides,
Hmm.
he approached me because I'd known him through other shows. I had a pop punk band that played with them once at some point. Um, but he was like, "Hey, these guys need a vocalist. Would you be into it?" And I listened to like this EP they put out and was like, "Yes, this is everything I've ever wanted in music."
Hmm. And what was it that drew you to it? It just the style.
Yeah, it just sounded really kind of fresh. Like I was used to a lot of metalcore from Portland.
Hmm.
A lot of my friends listen to like August Burns Red and stuff like that. Uh, and so I knew a lot of like really heavy bands, but then these guys were just so like fresh and clean and not like technical, but totally technical. Like there was something about it that felt really calculated and thought out. It wasn't like some cookie cutter like post-hardcore band.
Right. Yeah. Well, because when I was listening to the album, it felt like you said organized. It organized. It didn't feel like people slapping instruments
Hmm.
and you just screaming your voice out. It was like, okay, I'm digging this. I like this. I can get this. So that
So I think, oh, sorry.
no, that's what I enjoyed about it.
Oh, hell yeah. That's what gets it for me too, is like the all the other bands I've ever been a part of kind of just do that. Like, do we just kind of throw music at each other
Hmm.
for ideas? And sometimes it works. But with these guys, um, they get into the room to write, and I don't even like I can't even touch the microphone because they're so like in the zone and they're writing it like part by part because someone has like a full song they need to teach them or someone's got like a little fragment and they'll jam on that. But they go through like every possible riff and note for a song.
Hmm.
They like write it 4 or 5 different ways before it even is like demo worthy.
Uh-huh.
It's cool.
So the songwriting process is very collaborative. I'm assuming then.
Yeah, it for the most part it is. The last album happened pretty quick, especially lyrically.
Hmm.
Um, we were slotted to do only a couple songs, like a single, maybe an EP, and then we just kept writing music and more music as we were like taking trips to the studio, I guess. Um, and so that album, it was like we just slammed all of our ideas together, and then those ideas just like blossomed and they like played off each other. It was kind of like just us getting to know how each other worked,
Hmm.
and it was like it just was on fire. So that whole album sounds like just straightforward for probably 80% of it. It's really like drum heavy and it moves pretty quick. Um, and I think that's because all these guys were just like so amped and so stoked to be playing with musicians that were on each other's level.
Right, right, and it's it. I remember because I dabble in music. It's more for fun. I never want to do shows or anything like that. But I was always the guy who would have more experience with my instrument. And the best day was when my friend he picks things up pretty quickly. He learned how to solo, and I was so happy for him. I was like, "You know what this means? The world is opening up for us. We can
Yeah,
solo."
exactly.
So it was great.
Mm.
Now, for you who sings in the band, you do you have to access something to get that particular your voice out when you sing? I'm just wondering. I'm
Uh,
curious.
I got to get really pissed off.
Okay. Okay.
I guess I don't know. It's kind of a yeah. I got to get in the zone. And these guys have forced me to kind of like harness that headspace, I guess. I
Right.
don't know. It's weird to explain, but like actually vocally, what I'm doing with my voice, yeah, I've had to actually like sit down in the basement and just yell and like try to get my voice to do the things I wanted it to do.
Uh-huh.
And it's because they like because their music was so good, it was pushing me to like try and get myself up to their level too, I guess.
Gotcha. And so, do you have any you know, you get yourself to that level, you play the show. Do you have any remedies of just I like taking care of your voice after the show? Because that's got to be tiring.
It is exhausting. I'm like this. Oh man, I love this album so much, but I am really excited to get some new songs out there because it's just like all at the top of my register the entire fucking way.
Yeah.
They're like yelling or singing or screaming, and none of it is like soft.
Right. Right.
Um, yeah, like after a set, I just have to shut up for a minute, and I like can't let myself go like drink a beer or like get a shot. I just kind of like have to chill, drink water,
Yeah.
just be really antisocial for a second. But then after that, it's impossible. Like it's in our nature to party after shows.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Right on. One day you're just gonna come in like, look, Extreme did it with more than words. Can we just have a rock ballad, please?
Yeah, seriously.
Please, so I can take a break.
We're writing some cool stuff. Like when you mentioned earlier about your friend when he learned to solo,
Yeah.
like we're all experiencing that right now.
Uh-huh.
Like guys are coming down into the basement with a song written, like especially Julian recently, and he has this whole thing, and we're all just like, dude, you wrote a fucking song for the band? That's huge.
Yeah.
And it's like it's really good too. It's we're all like just pushing to become better musicians, and it's like it's working. It's fucking insane.
Nice. And so for your new album, From the Cities We Fled,
Mhm.
um, first of all, how'd you come up with the how'd you guys come up with the title?
Uh, it was kind of a like a topic that had been brought up in discussion about the state of like what we see our genres in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it feels like music in Portland, it's really hard to like get our genre to flourish because people are kind of distracted by other stuff going on right now. It's not like kind of a popular trending thing in our scene.
Mm-hmm.
That and we have like venues shutting down, bands that are like getting. Oh, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, I think
So,
the screensaver just activated.
oh, okay. No,
Sorry.
I activated it from here.
Right. Um, but yeah, it's just like it felt like our city was kind of in like a null state. Like we have to like get out of Portland to these other surrounding towns whose scenes like people are still going to punk shows and still going to hardcore shows.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's kind of how we came up is like from the cities we fled, we're getting out of Portland to kind of promote our image because we're like really suffering to get this town stoked about it. It's cool though because in retrospect, like we're seeing a lot of like bands that we play with, like they're blowing up.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like Divides, they're doing great for themselves right now. They just
Yeah.
went on tour with a couple other really awesome bands. Um, Everyone's kind of got new music coming out, and it's like I don't know. There's kind of a hopeful. Um, there's a hopefulness to the air right now, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of because we got out and we played all these shows in surrounding states. Like we're kind of getting the feel for what it's like now. We're coming into our own element, I guess.
Right on. And so when you for the new album, was there a harder song for you guys to crack or something that you guys took longer to work on just because you wanted to get it perfect?
Yeah. In fact, there's a lot of songs like that, and honestly, it's kind of a blur.
Uh-huh.
The actual writing process for these songs, like when I look back on that, we just spent so much time down in the basement that I kind of forget how some songs came about than others. Like it's kind of jarbled together. But one I do remember is "Terrible, Terrible."
Okay.
Uh, I can't even remember what that song sounded like before it was what it is now, I guess. And I think we worked on that one the longest. That one took me quite a while to get lyrics for.
Hmm.
Um, and I feel like it took forever to like arrange the parts in the way we wanted them to.
Okay.
But it came out awesome. It's probably my second favorite song on the album.
And so, do you guys have a release date for the new album?
Yes, I think it's August 12th or 13th. I can't remember which one specifically. We were just talking about this in our fucking group chat too.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
terrible following that stuff, man.
No worries, no worries. I just want to know when people can get it because I want
No,
people to
I
get
know
it.
we want to release it. We've been sitting on it for too long. We're fucking tired of it.
So what I like to do is I like to give you the floor to talk about anything or but I guess for the people at home, where can they follow you guys and keep up with all the music that you guys do?
Um, well, our website is wethewildpdx.com. That's got all of like the past shows we've played. It should have all the information up about singles that are coming out. And I think the release date is actually on the website too. If it's not, it will be soon. Um, but yeah, that's got information about a single that we're going to be streaming soon. There's also a music video coming out for another single that'll be coming out, like I think about a month before we drop the album.
Hmm.
We also are on Twitter as We the Wild PDX. Same thing with Instagram and also our Facebook too. You just got to watch out for the fucking UK We the Wild that still hasn't taken their shit down. They've been broken up for a while.
Really? What kind
Yeah,
of music do they have?
kind of like poppier stuff. It's not really
Okay.
my taste, but my when I told my mom I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be in We the Wild. She looked up those guys and was like,
Uh,
oh my god, I love this. This is great. And then I was like, oh no, it actually sounds like this. And it was when we made that music video for Roxy, the Cops Are Here. If you
uh-huh.
ever saw that one, it's like super raunchy.
Yeah.
And my mom saw that and was like, oh, like, well, that's okay, cool. Like, good for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Typical mom reply.
She's been just nothing but supportive of my choices in the bands I've been. I'm pretty lucky, but she was a little disappointed that I didn't become some pop star.
Right.
She was,
Right. Maybe one day. I don't know.
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You never know. I had a drum teacher who was in a pretty not a metal band, but a pretty hard band. But he ended up quitting that band to do country. So
oh man. Okay, well, I can see why. I
yeah,
like country.
I look. I love music. I love all sorts of music. I can't listen to country. I can't listen
Not at
to
all.
no. I get bored
I
or,
see that
or I get a headache. It's just
for sure.
just move on. Country that and Tejano, but there's a lot of Tejano here. That's why.
Okay, I was gonna say I don't even know if I've ever listened to any of that in Portland yet.
It's yeah no. There's none in Portland. It's like
Okay, it's like shit. I'm out of the loop.
it's like polka music, but with Mexicans.
Wow, that
Yeah.
sounds kind of awesome for someone who's never heard it before.
Well, okay. So when we're done, just Google Tejano, and if your
Oh, yeah.
next album isn't Tejano based, I'm gonna be very surprised.
Then we'll have a breakdown that's Tejano just for you.
Thank you, thank you. I
A
appreciate
couple measures of that.
that. Well, Ben, I had a great time chatting with you, and whenever you want to come back, just let me know. I'd love to have you back on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was great talking to you too, man.
Yeah, so continue the singing and do those vocal exercises. I don't know.
Oh yeah, and drinking honey and the warm ups.
Yeah.
There's some DVD that I used to own. It was like the Zen of Screaming or something like that.
Uh,
I gotta find that one again. That's like middle school days.
there we go. But you have a good day, all right, man?
Hey, you too. Thanks.
All right, bye bye.
See ya.